Hey, welcome. I'm Anthony Polanco. If you go into a yoga class or you look up how to do yoga or how to meditate on YouTube, there'll be a lot of activity, a lot of action. And it's not so much about the type of yoga. It's not so much about the things you're doing with your body, but about that union, which is what yoga really means, that oneness with yourself, with your spirit, with your mind, yes, but also with what is God, what is the universe, what is the divine intelligence that is animating everything. And as you bring your body into alignment and your mind into alignment, you kind of get that spiritual connection to yourself and to everything. And those are the benefits that people preach when they say they love yoga and they love meditation. When we practice yoga, whether in a yoga studio with a bunch of people and we're moving our body and posturing and breathing and having our eyes closed and all this, or we're sitting alone at home meditating, it's the same. Something that Carl Jung, this great psychotherapist from the past, if you've never heard of him, Carl Jung is a psychoanalyst, psychotherapist, psychologist, one of the greats, 1930s, 1920s, discovered yoga for himself and traveled to India and came back. And what he kind of was trying to do was understand the yoga from a psychological perspective. Not to bring yoga back to the West like many people did, but just to bring a psychological understanding of what is yoga, namely Kundalini yoga and Tantrism and others. What is actually going on in the mind, and what is the science, the application to developing and understanding the individual consciousness. One of the revelations he had was that Westerners, the European or American, would never have this true innate understanding of yoga, and it would probably be even harmful to even practice yoga for us without deep educated guidance, because the culture of India and of Eastern philosophy and Indian philosophy are inherent in their culture, in their past, and their history for millennia, and it's something that's always going to be foreign to us, Jung believed. And so when you see the things that are going on in the yoga studios or on YouTube and you don't understand it, that's completely normal. I think many people who practice yoga and even teach yoga do not understand it from that deep root. But the essence of that oneness and developing the meditative mind is something that does not require any knowledge, does not require any intelligence, or not around one specific discipline like Kundalini yoga or Tantra or Hatha, all these different types of yoga. These are all great practices and disciplines that are designed to give you technologies, give you techniques. But the essence is just developing the meditative mind and understanding yourself, not just your physical body, but your more subtle bodies. Whether you're a spiritual person or not, you must believe that there's something to your mind, there's something to your consciousness that's greater than what is physical. And we can believe that, even if you're not a spiritual being, based on evolutionary biology, if you prefer, because at a certain point, humans became conscious beings. And at that point, we've been asking ourselves, what is life? What does it all mean? Why am I here? That pursuit, that is the same question as who is God? What is God? What does it all mean? God would be the all-permeating force of life. God would be, in any religion, infinite by definition. You cannot make God a man in the clouds without reducing God to something known, and that rules out the infiniteness of God. So whether you're a spiritual person and you believe in God or not, you must believe in the universe in its entirety, its infiniteness, or the laws of life and the evolutionary path of consciousness and life. But I believe that God is all, through all, in all, permeating all, and has been forever. And it is the force of life. It is consciousness as we know it. And the more you study consciousness, the more you would eventually lead yourself to believe that the universe might exist completely in your mind. And therefore, we are here to explore what does it mean to be, and to find peace in that. Because, well, We are at very least, or at very most, energy beings. Even our atoms, our very atoms, are controlled by electrons, on a molecular level to a cosmic level. We can see the connections of energy throughout space-time. So we do yoga and meditate to explore this self-understanding, this self-discovery of who am I, what does it mean, and who is God, and where is that union, and what can I do to expand and to allow my infinite self to grow and to continue on in life. Life is energy, life is intelligence, life is love. And through yoga, we find ourselves in that place. And life doesn't become, all our problems don't just go away, but it becomes easier because the things we focus on are the things that kind of tend to manifest in our lives. And we focus on our energy, we focus on the union of ourselves, the pain, the suffering, the depression, they tend to reduce in their vibrational frequency in our minds, right? They become more subconscious things, and what becomes conscious is what we focus on. And that thing should be our union, our wholeness, our love, our light, our energy that is interconnected with ourselves and with the universe, with our brothers and sisters who I believe are just fellow energy beings. And this pursuit of understanding God and to understand self through that pursuit as well. And so we practice, and that practice brings many practical benefits, but also long-term, gradually increasing benefits as we travel space-time as energetic beings and as humans. So if you want to improve your vitality, if you want to improve your inner peace, if you want to improve your self-understanding, the best way to do it is to sit on the floor and get started, okay? So I see a lot of people kind of just try it and just give up on it. So I figured this might be what someone needs. So if this is for you, then that's awesome. Take what you can and discard the rest. If there is something that I do that you don't feel comfortable with, then don't do it. If you don't like something, you need to make your own eventually anyway. So take it easy on yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself to me or anybody. This is your own practice. Make a variation for yourself that's more comfortable. And at very least, just breathe. Just focus your gaze on your center space between your two eyebrows. And focus on your breath. When we breathe, we always inhale through our nose. There will be some times when I will say let's inhale through our mouth, but for the most part, intranasal breathing is yogic breathing, and the reason is because our nasal passages filter oxygen, filter air much better than our mouth. The nasal passages they clean the air as it goes in and filter it better than if we inhale it through our mouth. So that's why intranasal breathing is so beneficial. There's plenty of experts who can explain to you much better than that. But once you know that, I think that's all you really need to know. You filter air better through your nose. So let's just start there. I believe it is absolutely essential when you go from out there to in here, which is anywhere you are that you want to meditate. You're in the crazy world, and then you come back into your home or into a small space in your office or anything, and you want to meditate. You have to tune in because there's a lot of chaos out there. And in order to get out of that chaos from within your mind, you need to have some kind of formal ritual where you just do the same thing every single time and just kind of tell your mind, okay, now it's time for nap time. Now it's time for this, reading time or coffee or breakfast time. Just like that, we have our meditation time. We practice this formal tune-in method in order to get there. So I've kind of developed my own mantra that is a more universal mantra, and that is I am. Okay? Now the I am mantra should bring you into complete awareness of the fact that you are one with God, one with the universe, one with yourself. And the more that you practice this mantra, the more you will find this in your own understanding. I believe Jesus came to this realization of the I am. This immense power comes into you when you realize your oneness with God. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, great things come from this I am realization. I believe Buddha had it. I believe Jesus had it. I believe a lot of great gurus and sages throughout history have had it. And I believe we all have access to it. I believe that's what Jesus came to teach us. I believe we all have access to the I am consciousness, or the Christ consciousness. We are sons, daughters of God. God is the infinite. And we all exist inside as God's children, God's molecules, throughout space-time, on a quantum timeline. A quantum timeline, not just one finite timeline, but a quantum timeline. We exist all in its entirety, in infinity, as brothers and sisters, with all life forms. And the more you come to that realization, the more you are yoga. You are walking yoga. So let's begin. To begin tuning in, we rub our palms together like this. This generates energy. This friction you're feeling as heat is energy, right? Heat is energy. We can all agree there. So we rub our palms together to generate energy. And as you bring your awareness to that energy, you realize it's happening not just in your hands, but as a byproduct in your mind. And if it's going from here to here, it's happening in your body. So we generate prana, life force, energy, by rubbing our palms together. And that's how I like to begin tuning in. Secondarily, press my palms together in a more active stance and push my thumb knuckles into my sternum here. And I draw my breath. Now there's a specific way to draw your breath to get the maximum oxygenation, and that's to fill your belly first, then your chest, then your throat. This is how you practice a yogic breath. And you're doing it through your nose to inhale. When you do that, once you get all filled up, you suspend at the top. You don't pinch it but you suspend it by pushing your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and just letting the air kind of fill your lungs. And if it kind of siphons in and out at the top, that's okay. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to tuck in your rectum, navel, sex organ, or your perineum, which is by that feeling like you're pinching your pee, like you're holding your pee from coming out. Pull that in, or like you're pinching off a poop. And then you're kind of engaging your core muscles, which is like this here. And lastly, you're kind of like constricting yourself here in your throat. And with your eyes closed the whole time, you're kind of looking into that center space between your two eyebrows. You can exhale. I know that I've been talking for a while. And you can let go of that root lock. Relax. The only thing that doesn't relax is your hands. And push all the air out as much as possible. Wring it out, And inhale again. Same thing, belly, chest, lungs. Throat. And pull that root lock back in. Look into that center space between your two eyebrows. It's actually like the bridge, part of your bridge nose between the skull and the nose. It's kind of like the right spot to think. It's like kind of like a deeper place. Not so much right in the front, but like kind of deep in the middle of your mind. And exhale. Relax everything. Push it all out. When you get to the end, you should feel a gasp reflex, but it's kind of something you want to start to overcome a little here and there. Inhale. Same way, belly, chest, throat. Pull in that rectum, navel, sex organ. Take your gaze to your center space between your two eyebrows. This is the last one. We always do things in threes. Not always, but for the most part, it's kind of like a holy number, kind good little thing to practice. Something good about the rule of 3. And exhale. And relax your whole hands and everything. So the tuning in method can be personalized to you, but if you go to a yoga or meditation class, this is most likely what you're going to practice, some form of this. So now that you're tuned in, you might feel this new energy in your body. You might feel some vibration, in your hands, in this area, your rectum, navel, sex organ, in your chest, in your back. Any kind of new soreness or new energy or shakiness, that's all. I'm just going to throw it over my shoulder for now. Good stuff, okay? So pain is just a feeling. The meaning that you attach to pain is a choice. So a lot of pain is just energy. It's just energy flowing through your body. And then you call it pain, and then you attach meaning to it, and it can be positive or negative. If you're working out your muscles, pain is a good thing. If you're getting beat up, that same kind of feeling is not so good, right? So if I punch you in your arms 10 times, it's not going to be good pain. If you're lifting weights and your arms hurt just as bad after 10 reps, you're going to call it good pain. Pain is the meaning we attach to the sensations that we feel. So as you feel this gasp reflex, try not to resist it so much. Don't pass out, but you know yourself. As you feel this pain while you're practicing yoga poses, try not to give up. You could, and it's the same experience. It's all a transformation. It's all a practice. Like if you're going to a boxing class, you might be able to only take 30 minutes your first time. And then over a few months, you're in there for 2.5 hours. So just give yourself some grace, okay, when you're practicing yoga. To practice yoga requires courage, and it builds strength. It builds self-confidence. It builds self-understanding, which is why we're all here. Spend a few minutes in silent, contemplative prayer or meditation, okay? If you're a spiritual person, you might enjoy a prayer. I enjoy a prayer. Meditation is good too. Just sitting in silence and enjoying this state that you've worked to achieve, okay? So to tune out, same practice, rub your palms together, close your eyes, take your gaze to the third eye space, press your palms together into your sternum, inhale. You can chant it out loud or you can chant it in your mind. I am. Imagine your voice carrying over the mountains, rolling over the seas, through the fields of trees. I am. Remembering your oneness with the universe, with the entirety of the world, with every person, with every tree, with every leaf, with every bird, with every gust of wind. Inhale. I am. Your breath is the wind. Your voice is the thunder. You are one with the earth, one with God, one with nature, with all of space, with all of time. We are inalienable members of the one true God, the one true name, the name above all names. Thank you so much. I bow to you. You are my brother. You are my sister. We are one under the same God. This was just an introductory lesson that I wanted to create to teach you kind of the basic fundamentals in philosophy, and I'm glad that you were able to make it all the way through. There's definitely more to be shared, but there's not that much more that needs to be known in order to get started. You can start now. If you want to learn more, you can visit GodXP. We have our own app, our own community, and there's plenty to be found there. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you. Peace out.